So we've been going through different profiles of women in the Bible. And last week we started out by looking at Proverbs 31 and we got through about the first half of the chapter, but what you find is that you just can't say enough. You don't have enough time to describe the Proverbs 31 woman in just one 5-minute video. And so we're coming back this week and taking the second half of the chapter. So I want to point out that today's Devo will just be over the 4 big characteristics that you see in the back half of Proverbs 31. So we'll turn to verse 20 first to see what that is. It says this. It says, she, that Proverbs 31 woman, she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. So what you see here is that this Proverbs 31 woman is profoundly selfless. She's sacrificial. And when you're selfless, it means that you understand 2 things about God and about life. The first is that true life, true happiness is found not by serving yourself, not by putting your own interests in front of everybody else's, but instead putting other people's interests before your own. And that includes your family. That includes your kids and your husband in this instance for the Proverbs 31 woman. But it also includes all the different people that she's serving, including right here, the poor people. Poor people that can't help her, poor people that don't give her anything, but they are made in the image of God, and she is selfless and serving and loving towards everybody. The second thing that this shows that she understands because she's selfless is that none of her stuff is hers. Everything she's been given, her time, her money, her gifts, her career, all of those things are actually God's first. And so she can share those lovingly and in a blessed way to other people, because they weren't hers to begin with. So we see that the Proverbs 31 woman, the first characteristic is she's selfless. The second and third characteristics are found in verses 25. It says this, it says, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. The word clothed here has nothing to do with clothing. This is a metaphor. It's an image. So what it means is that she's filled with, she's covered in these 2 things, which the Bible says are strength and dignity. Now, what that means in the context, I think, is that she's strong in her faith. She's strong in things like being selfless to others because she's loving Jesus and believing in Jesus and believing in God first and foremost. It also means, it says that she's got dignity and she's clothed in it. She's covered in it. What I think that means is that she knows where her identity is. Not only is she believing in God, but she knows that her identity comes from Him. So the Proverbs 31 woman is selfless. She's strong in her faith, and she knows her identity is in God. The fourth characteristic is found in verses 29 and 30, which frankly are 2 of the most popular verses when you hear the Proverbs 31 woman. And it's not that they're unimportant, it's just that the whole chapter is important. But we will end here. It says this, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. You see, the fourth characteristic that we see in the Proverbs 31 woman is that she fears the Lord. So look here, it says that charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. It doesn't say that charm is bad. It doesn't say that beauty is evil or not important. Well, what it's saying is, and it's pointing out that culture, thousands of years ago as well as today, it tends to overvalue things that are of less importance. That we today, we still value charm and flirting, and we value beauty above more substantial things like fear of the Lord. Because in reality, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. It's not going to be here forever. Everybody gets wrinkly, everybody gets older. But the fear of the Lord and the characteristics that we see here in the Proverbs 31 woman, those things only get stronger and more beautiful and better over time. So this woman, she has the fear of the Lord, and that encompasses all of these things. That's an overall godly woman. Now, you can look at the Proverbs 31 woman, and you can look at it in several different ways. One, you can ask yourself, what type of person should I be? What type of woman should I be? The second question that you could ask is, well, what type of woman should I be that might attract the type of man someday that I want to marry? This goes back to something that I said a few weeks ago when talking about dating. The idea that if you want to marry a king, that you have to be a queen. So what would that man, what would that godly man, that kingly man want to marry someday if that's your desire in your heart? Well, there's been a lot of different answers. And as I was researching for this Devo, I saw something that shocked me. I saw a blog post that went viral a handful of years ago. It said this. It said that godly men are looking for women who are debt-free, virgins, and without tattoos. I don't know how tattoos gets in there because honestly, I don't see in the Bible anything that tells us that tattoos are sinful or bad. But then again, being debt-free and being a virgin are good things. It's great to be sexually pure, and it's good to be wise with your money. But is that really what godly men look for? Or is that what religious men look for? I don't think godly men look for somebody who's perfect. I think godly men look for somebody like the Proverbs 31 woman. Someone who isn't perfect, but she's trying, who doesn't do everything absolutely right, but she fears the Lord and she's selfless and she has a dignity and a strength about her. So don't get tricked into thinking that godly men are only after women who are perfect. Godly men are looking for women who fear the Lord, who understand their sin, who understand his grace, and they're growing in it as they follow Jesus.
Hey guys, we here at Crossing Students hope these videos serve you well. We'll be putting out new videos each week with all kinds of content. So if you have a question about a video or maybe ideas for new videos, make sure to leave those in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks guys.